Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. Happy Talkie Tuesday. My name is Dori Patrick. I am a mixed media artist working and living in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Thank you for joining me on my channel and in my home studio. I try to check in every week and share little bits of a creative um, life. And I know I always say this at the beginning of every video. I always say this is going to be a quickie video, but and then I talk and talk and talk, and it's not. I'm going to really try to make this a quick little video for you this week. Thank you so much, by the way, for all the love you guys gave me on the last video. That was the journal with me video where I took the prompt pink and hoppy and did a spread um, with those two words. It was so fun. It was fun to do, and it was fun to share it with you all. And it was interesting just seeing all the feedback. And it is true. I feel the same way when I watch you guys do process videos and stuff. Like it makes my hands itch and I want to get to creating again. So so glad you loved it. Thank you so much for all the love. Today is a quick little check-in and a little chat about what I've got going on this week. Um, let's see, since I saw you last, I got to help out at the academy with their after school art program on Thursday, and that was super fun. I took one of my pieces of abstract art on paper. I did a series, and I'll try to pop in some photos here. I did a series a while back of works on paper that were inspired by quilts, um, but they're kind of like an abstracted version of a quilt, if that makes sense. And uh, I had the kiddos do the same. So they had my sample. I brought my sample with me, and I also printed out a few examples off of the internet of quilts that I loved. And it was just a tiny little group of us, but we had so much fun. They just really embraced the project. I was really not sure if they were, going to like it, but they did. And I'll share some of the results here in the video. It was super fun. When I said to these kiddos, okay, we start off with scribbling, they were like, let's go. They let's do it. Let's do it. And there was one little girl who like scribbled and scribbled and scribbled and scribbled, but it was fabulous. So much fun at the academy. It's always fun at the academy. Um, and then I've been kind of working on a few little things here and there in the studio through the week. And I was like really struggling this past week with headaches. I am a migraine sufferer, like many of you are as well. And I know we've had this discussion before, but it was one of those weeks. And I tend to have more of them during these seasons where the months where the seasons are changing. So spring is kind of rough for me, and definitely fall is rough for me. And it's a big, long, we don't have to talk about my migraines, but it was a hard migraine week. But I'm coming out of it now. I am doing a lot better. So um, I just have learned to appreciate the good days. When you have a day where you feel good and you want to jump out of bed, be grateful for that. It's such a great feeling. But anyway, so what else? I did something else. Oh, and over the weekend, I finally saw hubby's show. As you guys know, he was in Metamorphoses, which is a compilation of Greek myths. And it was fabulous. It was really, really good. It was really fun to see him shine. And it was a wonderful cast. There was laughing, crying, and everything in between. It was really, really a great show. And he wrapped that up this weekend. Sunday was his last performance, and yeah, he says that it was a wonderful experience. I think it's kind of made him excited about possibly trying out for another show down the road. He is not one that is gonna, be in every single show that comes up. He he wants to be in shows that he is interested in and stories that he's interested in telling. So I'll be curious to see what he picks next. It'll be fun to see. But for right now, I am grateful that it was a success and we have him back home again. It's funny how having one person in the household off the schedule makes the rest of us off the schedule. I don't know, maybe I'm just too impressionable, but I really like having him home and having our routine. It's nice. So I had a wonderful dinner with friends that night and we all went to the show together. Did I take a single photo? No. But you know what? That's okay. I've got the memories, but I always regret when I don't document with a photo. I love to look back, but that's okay. We had a wonderful time. It was a really nice weekend. And I have been um so I have the Prairie Woods Holiday Bazaar on the horizon. That's in November, but it's a holiday bazaar. So I'm thinking more crafty than I usually do. This isn't going to be like an art show per se, but I get to have fun kind of dabbling in all kinds of things when I do this show. And so I am really just kind of looking around my studio, looking at supplies that I have had forever that I haven't done anything with. And I'm kind of on a mission to use things up, if that makes sense. And one of the things I wanted to show you, I got these done just a couple days ago. They were a labor of love, you guys. But the original idea for these was that they were going to be part of my Feels Like Flying, the exhibition I had in the early spring this year. And due to illness and a few other snafus, they just were not, it was not happening. And it was one of those things I had to cut from the show. They were originally going to be houses that had wings that were flying with little people in them, but they did not get done. And so they have literally been languishing on my side work table, staring at me for months and months and months. And I would pick them up and give them a base color. And then I don't know, I just kept feeling stuck and kept feeling like I didn't want to deal with them. But I finally just said, okay, Dori, you're going to get these done and we're going to make them we're going to have fun and we're going to make them fabulous. So this is what I came up with. And I'll show you the little baby one first. Um, and I'll have to probably stand back a little bit so I'll put her up forward here in a minute. But so this is a wooden store, like just a box without a lid, just a simple wooden box that I turned on its side. And I built the rooftop. You can kind of see the back is open. I don't know if that shows very well, but this is foam board that I cut. I cut two roof sides and a little triangle for the front and built that on top. And then I covered the whole thing with plaster wrap, you know what I mean? The stuff, it's like the stuff you'd wrap a leg in, a broken leg. So it's like plaster wrap, and it does have a little bit of modeling paste too to add some texture. Um, so I had these little houses for the longest time, and I had the base for these little angels made up. I just had not painted them. So I tackled them first, and they are made out of the core of them is foil, like aluminum foil that you get at the grocery store. And I kind of got a rough shape that I wanted. I checked each one for the height for each house and then covered them in a paper clay. And they took days to dry, a really long time to dry. But I'm really happy with how they turned out. I hope Let's see, can you see her? So I think if I had to do it over again, I would have sculpted the face more. But at the time, I just, I don't know why I didn't think of that. I just wasn't feeling it, I guess. So, so the faces are painted on to kind of show the dimension and the shadowing. Just painted with acrylics, and then this is covered in plaster. I glued little balls. At first, I thought these were going to hang, but now they are like a sculpture that could just sit on a tabletop. I mean, if somebody really wanted to, they could put a hanger on the back and hang it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let them stand. So, and there are three. So this is the little baby one in the little blue dress. Yeah, so painted them with acrylics, put some embellishments. This is scrappy raw canvas that I stitched. I think many of you have seen I make these flower brooches with scraps of painted canvas. So that's kind of the pattern that I used. And then there's some scrappy canvas hearts, and then they have little scrappy crowns as well. So that's the baby one. And then there's a middle sized one. And gosh, I don't even really know how big these are measuring. This one, I mean, this is good size, and this is the medium one. And I love how she turned out. I love the red hair and the green dress, I think. And so there you can see the back, and she's got the little ball feet too. Yeah, I wonder, let me see how tall this is. I'm really not even sure. I happen to have a tape measure handy. I did not plan that. So this one is about 18-ish inches tall, and she's the medium one. So the small one is about a foot tall, I would guess. Yeah. So that's the medium one. And when I say these were a labor of love, I mean they were a labor of love. They took a really long time for me to get done. And the plaster, while it really makes it sturdy, you know, it helps hold everything together. I love the finish of it. But plaster, as you probably know, is also fragile. So these will have to be handled very similar to like a ceramic item. Like you don't want to take this and drop it. You know, it's not going to shatter to pieces like a ceramic would, but the plaster can break if you are too rough with it. So I will have to be, whoever buys these at the bazaar, I will have to give them the the 411 on how to take care of them. So here's the big girl. Let me see if I can get her up close. Whoop, there she is. And then she's got like an orange flower on top of her house. And it's the same thing, just hollow in the top. And yeah, and little red ball feet. She's big. She's a mama jamma. She's the queen bee of the group. She's the mama. Gosh, she like takes up the frame, doesn't she? So bit by bit, every day, I worked on this a little bit. So the houses were already put together, but everything else, you know, the painting and the varnishing and all that, it just took a while to come together. But I couldn't be happier. And I would really like, you know, if they don't sell at the bazaar, I will be happy to just adopt them and keep them home with me. So I should give them names, shouldn't I? Yeah. Give me some suggestions on names for my three little girls. I would love to hear what I should name them. Yeah, let me know. Okay, so I got that done. And I have more of these boxes, but do you think I am going to go building a whole bunch more little houses? No, I'm taking a break from that. I'm not saying never, but holy moly, it was a lot of work. So maybe someday I'll be feeling squirrely again. But I wanted to show you what I'm going to be working on the early part of this week. In the theme of using up supplies, I found this little bag of 6 of these paper mache wreaths. And there is some texture on there. Yeah, so these are just plain, smooth paper mache wreaths. I've literally had these forever, and they've been in my storage closet, and I just finally said, all right, I'm gonna do something with these. So I put the modeling paste, the texture paste on all of them because I love texture. And I gave them, excuse me, I gave them all a base coat of a warm color. These are not necessarily the colors they're going to stay. It's just a base coat. Um, but here's what I'm thinking. So I spent almost all day yesterday. You know me and my British murder shows. I watched a British murder mystery and cut out canvas. I have a stash of raw canvas that I have painted in all these different colors. Some are solid, some are patterned, and I cut out shapes. So here's the idea. They're going to hang from a loop at the top, and I'm thinking of like an arrangement of flowers and leaves, kind of like cocked over to one side a little bit, and then a ribbon on the top to hang it. And I'm thinking the wreath itself could be striped or polka dotted, whatever. But I had to get a whole bunch of things cut out so that I could make those little sprays of flowers and leaves. So I'm going to get up so I can show you. I cut out, these have not been stitched yet, but there's one. So it's like layers, circle, 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 flower. And I've got I think I've got like 6 of these big ones that I'm gonna stitch. I'm gonna stitch them up all scrappy. And when I say scrappy, I mean like crazy stitching. You know, nothing neat and precise because that's not what I'm after. So I've got the big flowers, and then there's a lesson in the fodder challenge where they were cutting out all these adorable, sweet little shapes. And I'm like, okay, well, I need a variety of sizes for my flowers. So there's one. Oh gosh, I can't show you all these, but you know, you get the idea. So I've got a bunch of little flowers, and I will stitch all of these layers up. The lighting in here is terrible. We're having kind of a cloudy day. So I've got an assortment of flowers in different sizes, and then of course you've got to have leaves popping out, and I pretty much destroyed my whole green canvas stash, so I really need to go paint some more scrappy canvas. But what the thought is, I cut out a leaf, and then I cut out a bigger one to go around it, you know, to layer under it. And I'm going to stitch down the middle. And I may just do just a simple line down the middle. I might do veins in the stitch, or I may just, you know, zigzag over the top. I don't know. But I have a whole bunch of these cut out, and I was thinking I would tuck them around the flowers. And I've got all different shades of green and several different sizes of leaves. I am going to be stitching a lot. And then once I get the stash all stitched, then I'm going to play with, I think whatever color the wreath becomes will be dependent on the arrangement that I create. So, you know, if I end up with an arrangement that's a lot of oranges, yellows, pinks, then maybe the wreath could end up being aqua or you know, or even black and white. Wouldn't black and white be so cute? Yeah. So I'm thinking make the scraps, make the arrangements, then decide on the color of the wreath because the color of the wreath needs to help all these little guys pop. So we'll see how that goes. I'll try to remember to give you an update. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Now, I know that this is a holiday bazaar and people do look for Christmassy kind of things. I had a few little ideas for possibly doing some Christmassy things. Like I sketched out a holly and I sketched out like some peppermints and stuff. And I just wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't feeling it. So I'm doing flowers and leaves. And the thing is, the shoppers at the Prairie Woods Bazaar, they know, like, grab it because it will be gone. So I'm not I'm not worried. I'm making these because it's fun and it's because of what I feel like doing. I will be bringing some Christmas items. I always do ornaments and things, but when I sat down and really started working on a Christmas wreath, I was like, I just wasn't feeling it. So if you know, you know. I know you know. Anyway, that's what I'm up to. I am working through a stash of canvas. I'm going to get these all stitched up and just follow me on the socials. I'll try to put a few updates as I kind of put these together. Yeah, wish me luck. But it does doesn't it feel so good to get something done that you have put off forever? Such a great feeling. Anyway, I'm going to try to keep this short. I hope you all are doing great. I am going to have a super fun video next week. It's going to have a super fun announcement and we will play in our next meeting together. But I hope you're doing great. Thank you again for being here. Please leave some suggestions on what I should name these girls. Really, I will, and I'll have my hubby pick out the best ones from the ones that you guys send me. So send me some names. They definitely need names, and I will write the names on the back so that when people buy these, they know who they're adopting. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.